The Anasazi were Native American people that lived mainly in the Four Corners area of New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, and Colorado. Anasazi means ancient people. The Anasazi were not one tribe. Anasazi was a word used to describe many different tribes, including the Aztecs, Hopis, Navajos, and even the Tarahumara tribe from Mexico. The Anasazi civilization was very old, and they lived for a very long time. Their civilization began around 200 AD, where the people depended on plants such as corn, bean, and squash. In around 900 AD, the Anasazi began to develop Chaco Canyon, which is in New Mexico. Chaco Canyon is where the largest city of Pueblo tribe existed for around 150 years. It was called Pueblo Bonito. Pueblo means city or town in Spanish, and Bonito means beautiful, so it means beautiful city. A lot of the Anasazi trade went in and out of Chaco Canyon. The Anasazi depended on trade and made relationships with other tribes North America through Mexico. They sometimes had to walk over 4,000 miles to trade. Some of the things they traded were parrot feathers, turquoise, stones, and seashells. They mostly traded stuff that they got from other tribes. The Anasazi were cliff dwellers. The most famous dwelling is the Cliff Palace in Mesa Verde, Colorado. They built their homes out of mud and sticks into cliffs. They also had underground buildings called kivas. Kivas were used for celebrations, ceremonies, and meetings. They used heaters for space to get through with bow and arrows and other things like that. The Anasazi mostly ate jackrabbits, mice, deer, buffalo, turkey, and what is known as the Three Sisters, corn, bean, and squash. They have their own beans called the Anasazi beans. They had to hunt for their food. Some of the Anasazi tribes ran down their prey and then circled it with half of the hunters. Later on, the Anasazi started raising turkeys. The Anasazi were very spiritual. They had a great connection to nature. One example of this is when they would hear the bluebirds sing, they believed that rain was in the forecast. They also had a lot of hieroglyphics. In Utah, they even had a rock called Newspaper Rock because there were so many hieroglyphics on it that it looked like a newspaper. The stories they told were mostly of nature, hunting, trading, and other parts of their lives. The Anasazi had a very specific way of painting pottery. The bowls are mostly painted on the inside, and the pottery is all painted black and white. What I learned about the Anasazi is they aren't a tribe. They are a group of people known as the Pueblo that are made up of more than one Native American tribe. They were around for a very long time. No one knows for sure why the Anasazi people disappeared. Some think it was because of climate change. Others think it was fighting. What we do know is that they were amazing builders. They traveled far, far away for trade. We're from North America all that way to Mexico, and we're around for over 1,000 years. I think if the Anasazi were still around, we would know a lot more about them.